I'm Rantasmo, and Death Becomes Her needs more gay. Did you know that Meryl Streep plays a really good zombie? In fact, I think that Meryl Streep should play every zombie from now on. Okay, maybe not. 1992's Death Becomes Her concerns Madeline and Helen, two lifelong frenemies who are constantly trying to one-up each other, and fighting over the affections of/ownership of hapless mortician Ernest, played by Bruce Willis. This leads them to imbibe a magical potion, courtesy of Isabella Rossellini, that grants them eternal youth and beauty, but has the inconvenient side effect of keeping their bodies animate and conscious after they die. Particularly inconvenient when both of them happen to be murderers. This is another one of those movies that has no real gay characters or even coded gay characters, but is still especially popular with gay men. Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn both have substantial gay followings, but I think that what sets this particular movie apart is, and I mean this as respectfully as possible, bitchiness.
You're a fraud, Helen. You're a walking lie, and I can see right through you.
I think it might be a little extreme to call Death Becomes Her a misogynist film, but on the surface, it doesn't seem to have a very high opinion of women, or at least these particular women. Though it's mainly a showcase for its impressive visual effects, which are impressive, especially when you consider the year, the core of the story is about women dominating men. Even though Ernest does literally murder his wife, the movie frames him as the closest thing it's got to a good guy, victimized by evil, shallow women who treat him as a pawn in their petty games of envy and self-absorption. It's like a particularly twisted MRA's view of domestic violence.
Hurry up, you wimp!
Clearly, this is the women's fault. The real problem is women-on-women violence. And yet Meryl and Goldie are, in a bizarre way, the most lovable characters in the movie. They are despicable, yes, but the movie takes a sort of morbid joy in being despicable. And the violence is so Looney Tunes that it's kind of hard to take it too seriously. Following in a long tradition of glamorously evil women, Madeline and Helen are kind of celebrated for their villainy. They look good being bad, even when they look bad. And in that way, they're practically custom-tailored for drag queens. They've elevated bitchiness to an art form. It's like bitchcraft. Behind the whole women are evil thing, Death Becomes Her is also a satire of society's obsession with youth and beauty. Though I do sense kind of a mixed message, where on one hand they're obviously saying that clinging to youth and superficial physical beauty is unhealthy and self-destructive, and on the other hand you get stuff like this. Ugh, aren't fat people the worst? But still, I think this is one of the reasons why gay men feel an affinity with this movie. You could even say it has similar themes to Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is gay as Christmas and also deals with someone trying to stay young forever and learning it's not all it's cracked up to be. The idea of gay men being body and youth obsessed is a stereotype, yes, but unfortunately it has a grain of truth. Gay men are significantly more likely than their straight counterparts to have body image disturbances or eating disorders. Around 42% of men who have eating disorders identify as gay. Gay culture is often criticized for being ageist. Older gay men have been referred to as trolls or characterized as sad, lonely old queens, or simply erased from media altogether. These aren't the sort of problems that a campy, effects-laden horror comedy can solve, but there is that moment where we actually feel bad for Meryl's character, punished for the crime of getting older. It's easy to sympathize with her situation, if not the methods she uses to try to escape it. But as for me, I intend to age gracefully and become the old, wrinkled gay man that God intended. And also a wizard.